making sense of it all so that you can get a clearer picture.
I've collected 500 billion, and I can only show you borehole.
It's politics.
For me, it is what I call Iberberism. I beg your pardon. Go and search for it, my friend.
It's current affairs.
4 years course, metamorphosing into 6 years.
And news that
Affects you.
What an academic academic yo in their leadership rococo, leadership rababare.
it's all the serious stuff.
But with a light-hearted twist.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
And I'm Aghogho Oboh.
Join us 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday
Right here.
on Hard Facts.
Shaku Maku, everyone. It's a fine midweek edition of Hard Facts. I'm sure you've been enjoying all our programming on Nigeria Info, from the Morning Crossfire to the Midday Dialogue, Lunchtime Magazine, and Hard Fact. And we promise you that this will be a big show because it's been a dramatic and historic 24 hours, all the way from Tehran to Abuja. And so, like we usually do, we will begin with the big three. I think the weather is beginning to cool off a little bit. Rather, heat up more like it. Hamatan is just beginning to make its way out, and the hot sun descending on all these sons and daughters of men. And on the big three today, if it's possible that you could slice tension and the uneasy calm that is finding its way between Tehran and Washington, it will be a big chunk. Scores of airstrikes fired at U.S. military bases in Iraq by Tehran has left diplomats scoring to make statements here and there. In the eye of the storm, U.S. President Donald Trump, we're still waiting for all that important press conference to happen in the United States following those attacks by Donald Trump. Save for the tweet he put out, all is well. I can say all is well for everyone in Nigeria as we go through all of the big stories on the big three. The Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosu in Lagos State, has held his first security briefing or conference, a summit for the year. And security correspondent Ijoma Esek will join us on the big three as well as on the big hard fact, where we're going to be looking at all of those things and the fallout of the summit. And we can discuss together with you, residents of Lagos State, what to make of the security plans for the police for this year 2020. And then on the big three's last story, wait for it, a 12-hour medical operation which was carried out by 78 medical doctors to separate co-joined twins, not just at the abdomen, the entire rib cage, ended successfully. I've seen the wonderful pictures of those two lovely children who went through the operation. They've been 16 months old. Doctors had to wait for a while for them to develop before they carried out this very, very crucial, sensitive operation, and it did end well. And plenty of hope, I guess, for the country's health sector. We'll talk about that. We've got our correspondent in Abuja who are looking at the aftermath of that story. Glass ceiling every Wednesday at 4 p.m. We're doing a focus on gender-based discrimination. Sandra has done a great report on this. This was in December, yes. So for those of you who missed it, it's going to be another opportunity for you to listen to that interview and learn a couple of things from that. Like I said earlier on, the big hat fact, we're going to focus on security in Lagos State on the sidelines of this security summit that happened earlier today. The high points from the Commissioner of Police and what the police planned for us in Lagos State. And after the news at 6, the news business will end. We got news update, pepper our way all the way till 7 p.m. We have a new show. It's going to make a debut today called Leadership Insights with Dr. Maxwell Uba. And it's going to be happening every Wednesday from 6:15 in the year 2020. And so I'll be with Maxwell and then to just launch him in, and then he can tell you a couple of things. And I've had great conversations with him on the sidelines of this show, and you learn a couple of things on leadership and business. Many important things you think you know, you can sharpen and hone your business and entrepreneurial skills. All right, so we're ready for a great ride. Fasten the seat belts. Karim, it's time for us to launch.
This is the Big Three
The Big Three on Hard Facts.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right. Let's start with what is breaking. It's the biggest story in the world right now. The United States President Donald Trump has responded to Iran's attack on U.S. and coalition forces in Iraq, saying that all is well. Missiles launched from Iran at 2 military bases, saying that all is well. He went on to say assessment of casualties and damages taking place now. So far, so good. We have the most powerful and well-equipped military anywhere in the world by far. He went on to say, I will be making a statement tomorrow morning. It's morning already in the United States, and we stand by at any time Donald Trump gets to make that statement. Incidentally, there was also another incident which happened in the early hours of this morning, in rather late yesterday night in Iran. A plane went down. Ukraine jet went down. It had about 170 passengers on board. Now, reports we're getting suggest that that plane went down shortly after takeoff, and Iranian authorities are saying it had nothing to do with the face-off with the United States, which the missiles going off almost about the same time. It didn't happen. Furthermore, the Iranian government has says it will not release the black box of this Boeing jet to the United States, but rather it will go ahead and conduct its own investigations and will work with the Ukrainian authorities in finding out exactly what happened, but has barred the United States from getting involved in this investigation for this tragic incident that happened. So back to the other, looks like everything's happening in Iran, right? Back to the missile attack that happened. We now understand that at least 22, at the last count, missiles went off. And now there are reports from Pentagon, even though it's not been confirmed, that the Iranian authorities deliberately targeted places where American or the coalition troops in Iraq will not get hot. So we've been getting confirmation from the United Kingdom, from the United States in the last hour, saying none of its personnel were wounded in the attack. Iran is also still talking tough, even though they do seem to suggest that this attack that happened at the U.S. bases at Erbil and Al-Assad. A tweet from Iran's foreign minister, Javad Zarif, said that Iran took and concluded proportionate measures in self-defense. We do not seek escalation at war, but will defend ourselves against any aggression, which seems to suggest that this attack that happened in Iraq against the U.S. bases will be a one-off. But then in the last hour, because this is such a fluid situation, there have been reports from the leadership of Iran's Muslim body, that's Ayatollah Khomeini, saying that this was just a warning and a slap on the wrist to the United States, which is interesting because of ballistic missiles. If you think about it, something that will definitely cause damage. And so the reactions have begun to pour in. And then in Nigeria too, we've got also responses also to the federal government. The President Muhammadu Buhari in the last couple of hours has had meetings with the GMD of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, Mila Kyari, as well as he will be meeting later on today Timi Presiva, the Minister of Petroleum, because of the possibility of the price of crude oil has been on the upward increase following this tension. At last count, I was checking $69 a barrel. We'll head over $70 most likely the longer this goes on. Nigeria's benchmark is set at $54 a barrel. So those discussions is something we should also keep a close eye on. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I will open the phone lines and get your reactions to the escalation of tension in the Gulf. Please keep on listening.
Stay right here on the Big Three on 99.3 Algeria Info. This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Oh, welcome back. So we are going to start to take calls, get your reaction to this fluid developing story in the Gulf between Tehran and Washington. People have thought that after the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, maybe Iran will do nothing or will do something. More people expected this to happen. And so it has happened, and now reactions have started to come in. I just read UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson saying Iran not to repeat those attacks again, calling them, in his words, reckless and dangerous. That's the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Right, numbers to call: 012770993, 012771993, 012772993, and then 012773993. Call us and tell us what you make of the ongoing tension in the Middle East. You can also talk to us on WhatsApp. While the number of WhatsApp, let me take in quickly the calls coming in, and let's hear what you have to say. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Please, what's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Dr. Jude. I'm calling from Aghogho Palace Way.
All right, Dr. Jude.
Well, regarding to this topic, I just want to say something. I was going through my Twitter account and I saw a post by Trump saying that they are filling up. They know that Nigeria is beside Iran, both actively and passively. What I want to say is this time, I think the topic or the narrative in Nigeria here should change. These things they are doing in Abuja, Shiite and the rest, something that does not concern them. I think it is time for people like you and those in power to start talking to people to stay on their lane instead of causing us trouble here in Nigeria. That's what I just want to say, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you, sir.
Let's see who we have next. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Rotimi from Medium.
Oh, Rotimi, you have the floor. Please go ahead.
Where is your first lady?
Hi, Sandra is a bit under the weather, so she's taking us some time just to...
was she in Kano for where the Hamatan has hit the most? Now, just a point of correction. You said in your intro that Ayatollah Khomeini said it was a slap on the wrist. He said it was a slap on the face, please.
Oh, sorry about... I knew it was a slap.
Okay.
Yeah, so slap on the face. Good.
Just that.
Good.
Okay. And, let me add that no matter how... You see, there's a way to hit a terrorist and not turn him into a hero. Donald Trump made a calculated mistake. I mean, not a blunder, right? One, he wanted to win a re-election. All over the world, Soleimani is known as a terrorist all over the world, across the globe. But two former presidents in America, never just let him be. You know, there's a way. Wisdom dictates sometimes that you allow sleeping dogs to lie, because when you kill the dog, you give yourself a bad name instead of the dog. So even I just monitor the CNN right now, and some very top former military brass in America are already condemning Donald Trump for going all out to kill Soleimani. He shouldn't be betting on it that it will one, make him to skip his impeachment, which has been done in the House of Reps, and then win a re-election. And there was a man who condemned Barack Obama way back and condemned Clinton for dabbling into the Middle East. And now he's found himself in that cul-de-sac again, which is an irony, really.
An irony. Thank you very much, Rotimi. And
Thank
let's
you.
see whether Donald Trump will be able to come out of that the sack. Let me go to my second story so that we get enough time for us to be able to talk about all of these stories once we're done with them. On WhatsApp, our number is 0809-597-5805. So you can go load in your comments there, and I will take them, I promise you, once it's time to engage with you one more time. And engage we will with security, where Ijoma Esek has just covered a security conference, the first for the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, Hakeem Odumosu. And the high point of that summit was when he said that that's the police guarantee the socioeconomic well-being of people and enhance their quality of life. And he wants to do this through a more courageous, dedicated, humane, and professional police force in the state. Hello, Ijoma.
Hello. Good afternoon, Aghogho.
Good afternoon. All right. I know you're on your way back, and we can have a big discussion by 5 p.m. on the outcome of the summit. But tell us, what the Commissioner of Police have to say in a nutshell on what the police hope to achieve in Lagos State for this year.
Okay, the CP Hakeem Odumosu disclosed that this year the police is ready, men and officers are ready to ensure that crime is reduced to its barest minimum. And he also said that irrespective of the fact that police, the men, has been briefed on tackling crime and criminality, that he's not going to condone any officers that will go out of their way or that will do what is wrong. I must make mention that I must give kudos to the CP because he also announced to Lagosians that bail is free. He emphasized it. That anyone that offers bail to any officer, the officer and the giver of the bail, the officer will be arrested and prosecuted if arrested. He also made mention of the fact that Lagos State, that Nigeria and Lagosians, and in fact, everyone are now security intelligence, and they also have mobile phones to do a whole lot. He said everyone is now a journalist, everyone is now a photographer, and everyone is now a videographer. And appealed that any police officer that's caught doing anything wrong, that people, they shouldn't be scared. They should bring out their cell phones and video or take pictures of the police officers and send it to his office. He has a special unit that handles such.
Well, that's interesting because I'm wondering with the several journalists who are there going by incidents in the past where residents did bring out their devices to take pictures of or videos of policemen trying to solicit for a bribe or doing anything illegal, put themselves in harm's way when they did that. So is he assuring that people are going to be safe to go ahead and take pictures or videos of policemen who are soliciting for bribe, for example?
Yes, he did say that, but I must also make mention of the fact that, yes, Lagosians and everyone, listeners should be mindful of the way they bring out their gadgets to take these pictures or do their videos. Because we all know that it is not all the police officers that will adhere strictly to this advice. And they wouldn't want a situation whether they will be manhandled by police officers. So I'm going to advise, this is my own personal opinion, they should try as much as possible, irrespective of the fact that you want to get them on tape, you want to get them on camera, try as much as possible to do this discreetly.
So besides that, what else again did we get from that press conference with the police?
Okay, the police commissioner also reeled out his achievements between November 2019 when he has assumed office till date.
I would like to see his scorecard. I mean, this is just November. This is 2 months, right?
Yes.
And he has a scorecard already.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay, so he made mention of the fact that so far 447 suspects has been arrested from criminal hideouts in different parts of Lagos.
Good.
And this place here, he made mention of the fact that they arrested people, include Ikorodu, Aghogho, Itire, Isheri Osun, and Oshodi. And he said that the people that were arrested, yes, of course, that they screened them and they released those that have no questions to answer.
Okay.
And he also said that, yes, of course, a lot of people have raised the fact that those arrested should be released within 24 hours after arrest, as the law says. But he also emphasized on the fact that most of the people, that criminals, robbers, hardened criminals cannot be released under 24 hours. Especially those arrested with guns and firearms, that they will need to keep them to investigate and to ensure that they push them to the court to take decisions on any matter that has to do with them.
All right, Ijoma. We're going to have a big discussion with Ijoma by 5 p.m., so look out for that interview. Ijoma, security correspondent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Aghogho.
Okay, so she's giving us a lot of stuff to talk about, and I think I can take quickly 1, 2, 3 calls on this one. Tell me what you think. The police say whip out your device, your phone, if you see a policeman abusing his uniform by collecting bribe or engaging in any illegal activity you think he should not be involved, and they will act on it. That's Hakeem Odumosu, the Commissioner for Police in Lagos State. Are you going to do that? Let me hear what you have to say. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Aghogho.
Good evening.
Shaku
Makushi.
So let's start with Iran, the first Iran.
Go ahead.
The first story, Iran. This is MI from Aghogho anyway.
Yeah, go ahead, MI.
You see, when the crocodiles are talking, then the lizard comes and he's having an opinion. You see,
who's the lizard
I told Sandra, when people that have nuclear power exchanging words, then Nigeria is going to talk. I saw a tweet, but the first caller mentioned it. You should not get involved, though. This is not there. There are many reasons for the war. Forget what you see on the media. There are many reasons for the war. First is the nuclear power deal, power show.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There's the oil in Iran.
Yeah.
Plus, there's alliances in the Middle East. Many people don't even know. They're following social media, what posts and all that. So all this thing, what they are doing shite, we don't know the implication.
Right.
Before they mark us as a terrorist country, you know what that means? Not that they will fight us, but they'll cut aid to us. We that are running a deficit budget. Do you understand? Do you know, a lot of things can go funny. So all these people are just jumping on things they don't understand. They should get a federal government. Nigeria is a secular state. They should always remember that. Nigeria is a secular state. Then also about the police in Nigeria, in Lagos.
Good.
Hello, are you there?
I can hear you, Claire. Go ahead, please.
About the police in Lagos State. You said you bring out your gadget. You see, Chino Achebe said the coward stood and pointed at the grave of the man that was brave. Do you understand? So you want us to bring a phone, the person that is holding gun, so that will become a statistic.
Right.
It's someone that is alive that can explain. It's only someone that is alive. It's easy for him to pontificate from his office in Ikeja. It's someone that is alive that can explain. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, MI. I'll take one more call and we'll get to the last story. Hello.
Hello.
Aha, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, what's the name and where you calling from?
This is Oluwafemi.
Oh, Oluwafemi, how are you?
Hi, Jack
Good.
Maku.
Hey, Makushi.
Yeah, on the low though. My condolences to the people that lost their lives.
Yes.
Let me start with Iran. You know, I kind of find it funny when people don't look at the inside story. look at the surface and then they conclude. I've been following this story for a very long time, even before this bad.
Yes.
I think before.
Hello, Oluwafemi. Yes, the connection, unfortunately, is breaking. All right, so what we're going to do, let me run the last story. So I think I would have at least 15 minutes after that, so I can, we love to hear what you have to say. So the more we hear from you, the better for everyone. So the final story, which I think is the icing on the cake, depends on how you look at it. Right. So a set of co-joined twins had one liver, a protruding tummy, and a lower chest have been successfully separated. A 12-hour surgery involving 78 medical personnel. Remarkable. When I saw this story, I said we are going to go straight to this story and see how it happened. The twins were born on the 14th of August 2018, and they quickly constituted an interdisciplinary team, including pediatric surgeons, cardiac surgeons, plastic surgeons, nurses, imaging experts, dermatologists, and other experts from various medical disciplines, as well as support staff. So this was huge. It was a major operation. One of the major challenges was that the twins came with their intestines bulging out of their lower part of the tummy, which was quickly resolved. So they were 16 months old before the surgery happened. And what is remarkable is this was carried out at the National Hospital in Abuja. So it was done by Nigerian personnel. It was done with the required medical equipment in Nigeria, and no foreign aid was involved in the surgery. So I quote the Minister of Health here, Dr. Osage Ehanire, who goes on to say that this is a big plus for the health sector. Francis Onoja is a correspondent in Abuja. Hello, Francis.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. I hear it's a big day in Abuja following this historic breakthrough in medicine with the way the surgery happened for the co-joined twins.
Yes, I covered it. We followed up on the story today in Abuja.
Great.
And seriously, it's a breakthrough.
Tell us more.
Okay. Today we went to the National Hospital. After yesterday, a press conference was held at the National Hospital to announce the fact that a set of conjoined twins they were separated. And what makes this one very unique is because they were conjoined at the heart and at the abdomen. And it was so critical that the twins shared just one liver. Wow. And if care was not really taken, one of the twins could have died. But to God be the glory, a team of 75 doctors, they were on ground. And it's interesting to actually note that there was no foreign doctor among doctors that carried out the surgery. And doctors were led by one Professor Emmanuel Ame.
Good.
So they carried out the surgery for like 12 hours.
Wow.
And I visited the hospital today, and the twins, they are really doing well. You won't even notice that the surgery of such kind was carried out on the children.
I mean, this was a life or death matter. I mean, if anything could have just gone wrong.
Yes. And for the surgery to be carried out, National Hospital in Abuja carried out the surgery free of charge for the parents.
Yes, that's something that's good. I hear it's about $55,000-$60,000 the cost of the surgery, but that was waived.
Yes. In Nigeria, they said at about 20 million naira.
Wow.
And the father of the twins is a painter. Then the mother of the twins is a full-time housewife. So there was no way they could have raised that money in order to carry out that surgery. But the National Hospital said, in line with its corporate social responsibility, decided to carry out surgery free of charge for the parents. And before carrying out surgery, because after the kids were the twins, the conjoined twins were sent to at the Nasarawa State, that's at the Federal Medical Center
in Kefi,
Nasarawa State.
Good.
They had to be monitored for 16 months because at that time they were too young to carry out surgery on them. So they brought them to the National Hospital and monitored them for like 16 months. At least they would have grown to a certain level before they carry out the surgery. So they carried out the surgery. It was really, really successful. And this is not the first time it's conjoined twins separated in Nigeria, but
very true.
In this case, this is like the first time it's happened. But no case of twins had ever had one liver.
Very true.
Then they had to, according to the information I gathered today, the liver, they had to separate the liver came like in one package. So they had to separate. The liver so that each of the child will have one like being shared between the two children.
Very
But
true.
obviously they are doing really well. And as I yesterday that the health minister came to the National Hospital and other ministers.
Right.
It's interesting to actually let you know that the Ministry of Women Affairs decided to give a job.
Decided to give the mother of the twins a job when she
great. Yes, at the Ministry of Women Affairs.
Brilliant.
She was a full-time housewife, and so there was no way they could have
been able to take care
of.
All right.
Especially after the surgery, and after the time I went to the hospital, the mother was not around. She went to the Ministry of Women Affairs for documentation and other things before they did discharge the children. But they will be discharged tomorrow.
All right.
And they'll be having a Stanford party.
Okay. All right. I look forward to Francis, you being at the Stanford party so that we can have some more to talk about. But thank you very much, Francis Onoja, Nigeria Info in Abuja. Thank you very much. All right, and so that's the icing on the cake, a cherry story. And there is hope, I guess, you say, for the country's healthcare sector. 78 medical personnel, 75 medical doctors, all of them Nigerians, no foreign aid, co-joined twins, like you heard Francis say, one liver they had, and that had to be separated, and now they have both livers. The medical jargon, I can't get my head around. That's why I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm sure you have something to say about the story also, too. Tell me what you have to say about story 1, the Iran-U.S. tension. Story 2, what do you have to say about the security situation in Lagos State? Police commissioner saying you can do the security work yourself by taking pictures and videos of erring rogue policemen. And story 3, this story, co-joined twins at the tummy, successfully separated by 78 Nigerian medical doctors. So here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
My name is I-Square Okori. I'm calling from Oboh.
All right, I-Square, please go ahead.
Yes. I think there is a big development that's happening in our medical sector.
I think so, too.
Yes. Nigeria is a country that has one of the best, or even the best medical personnel in the world. Go to UK, see a lot of them. They're working very well. You go to US, see them. When they get there, they are being trained. They pass exams. From there, they go to next stage. From there, they will be going like that. Our problem here is that here is not structured. And our medical doctors, they are not paid. They are not well paid. They are not given the environment that they are needed to be at the maximum, performance. That's why it seems like most of us they are flying out of the country to get the best medical, this in there.
Right. So in essence, if you take care of the environment, you will produce this sort of result. But thank you very much, Ice Cream. Thank you. All right. Who's next? Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, and I'm calling back.
I hope your line is clearer this time, Oluwafemi.
Okay. So I was saying that before the attack, remember there was this attack on the American embassy, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think that was what exacerbated the attack, and followed by the intelligence that clearly states that Soleimani was orchestrating an attack to kill more Americans. So I don't know why a lot of people are so dogmatic about the fact that American it's Iran. Now, that's on the side. And let me talk about the Nigerian police. You know, just as how it is done in the Western world, policemen with cameras on them. I think we should just adopt that pattern. It's going to help us. You know, when we can monitor our police, we can monitor the activities and all that. And I think it is a great breakthrough coming from the medical sector. It is a great breakthrough, and I think the international community should celebrate Nigeria at least for once.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you very much, Oluwafemi. Give credit to who credit is due, eh? All right. Hello. Hello. Next. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Aha. Good afternoon.
Emmanuel, you hear me from Lagos.
All right, Emmanuel. You on to 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Okay, last 3 minutes. Let me start with the breakthrough in Abuja. Again, I salute the commitment of Nigerians when it comes to doing their best with very little resources. Because when, for instance, I saw that news, I looked at it with a very, very younger brother of mine who were simply laughing because I understand everything that is needed, to save the life of those kids. And I once again, I greet the medical institution in Nigeria. They have done exceedingly well in achieving that feat. That's on the one hand. And let's swim in the Iran and America brouhaha. If you look at it critically, it is said that when good people keep quiet, when evil is going on, it will go round, And there's nobody who can blame Trump for the action he has taken. That's a very necessary action. For instance, the individual, I understand, there are facts to prove that he has a hand in virtually all the insecurity across the globe. And if that is the case, and the man is taken down, and America has come out to say, yes, we did this. When if a caller before mine or two callers before mine owned up that indeed the individual, he read that the individual was a terror supporter. On that ground, would you now say that there are better ways to justify evil? That's a very big question that nobody can answer. If we must be our brother's keeper, if we must value humanity, then there can't be any better way to justify evil.
But then that's why you have the courts to judge people and say you are guilty for a crime.
There are instances where things are so extremist in nature. The individual who was taken down, even his own people know. But there are politics that are being played with the lives of other people that are not too good. A situation where you want to look for justification to rhapsodize evil, that is bad on its own.
That's why it's a double-edged sword, Emmanuel. So you throw the sword back. Okay, go ahead, please. Sorry.
Let me round up.
Yeah, quickly round up.
People from that part of the world, Middle East, they are, like we say in Pigeon Palace, their mind, they for their back. You understand? So they can do barely anything, you understand, to give their life to what they call their country, that is sheer wickedness. Let me round off with the police head who had said that Nigerians should use their phone to be videoing policemen whom are known, understand, to flout the law of the police even before the head of the police. And the least they could do is to do court-martial, and they go behind door, and you see these people walking on the street again. There are better ways to manage all these things. You understand? The police head should not put the lives of Nigeria further in danger by ordering them to be videoing people who we know that whether they are deliberately wicked or they are choosing to travel that route. I've said it on many fora that the easiest way to build a better police force is not to take your child that you are tired of and put him in the police. It can never be done. They will never be good.
All right, Emmanuel,
thank you very much. Take your child. Let me round off. Take your child who has a first-class degree and
all right, Emmanuel, we're out of time, but thank you very much. There will be a lot of time for us to talk about the security from 5 p.m. Let me remind you, I just put this out there as a teaser, so that at 5 p.m., the questions, like Emmanuel has asked, how do we make the police force better, especially the ones we see and serve us in Lagos State, or we serve them sometimes in Lagos State, or two, what to do in dealing with rogue policemen. Commissioner says you can get out your device and then capture them, and they will work with that. I don't know how that doesn't put you in harm's way, but we'll talk about that at 5 p.m. Up next is Glass Ceiling with Sandra Ezekwesili. It's a repeat edition, but I assure you I did enjoy it when it went out on the 20th of December. This, the second time, is going out, and I think there's a lot for you to learn. I'm Aghogho Oboh. Please keep listening.
This is The Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.